You can't take Ryan Gosling or Anne Hathaway home this summer. I'm sorry, you guys. But you can bring home Gosling's space helmet or Hathaway's handbag. The summer movie popcorn container battles are heating up again. And Noma, no mas, the only goat still goating, has been on the zeitgeist roller coaster lately. We'll take you through all the rises and falls, which might be personally difficult because I don't like roller coasters. And whiskey was the star of our last month, thanks to St. Patrick's Day. We're going to take a look at whiskey's all-time starring roles in pop culture history. All these topics and more. I'm Aarti Sequeira, and welcome to Around the Table. Welcome to Around the Table, where food meets pop culture meets game night. And game night is a social activity. So I have invited some of my very favorite people to socialize with, and they are always game. You know what I'm saying? In this game, each round, my friends will show their hand on the topic at hand. And I will pick a winner each round to take home a gold star. Ding, ding, ding. And because I'm uncomfortable with hierarchies, everyone else will get stickers from my middle school sticker collection. Whoever wins the most gold star stickers wins today's show, our admiration, and maybe best of all, our totally focused attention for 30 whole seconds. Who will it be? Well, it'll be one of these fine people. From chef to top chef all-star to tournament of champions champion chef, so you can really say yes chef and feel so authentic. It's Antonia LOFASO. Yay! And a titan of Food Network and New York City, whose food is top 100 and whose heart is top 10. It's AYEHSA NURDJAJA.
Thank you.
And our ace in the hole, the cake in our soul. Get off your duff and raise a glass to this GOLDMAN. It's Duff GOLDMAN.
That was great.
It was great. That's a Brendan McNamara special right there.
You're like a perfect person to announce people. I think you have
I love
profession.
it. Literally. I am available for hire. Anytime you need me to announce you, just give me a call.
We will.
Seriously, because I need the work. Okay. Our first topic, the crowd pleaser today, is movie popcorn container battles. Movie theaters miss you. They want you to miss them, which has led to all manner of exclusively in theaters promotions. Enter collectible bins to scarf your popcorn from. This broke through to the mainstream with Dune 2's sandworm bucket, which looked like a sphincter with fangs, but it's now a summer movie staple to see who will win this battle of the buckets. Panel, what's been your favorite of these so far? And do you have any in your Tupperware drawer or in your nerd den? Before we start, Duff, did you just make a sphincter with your hand? Is that what
the sphincter is? The thing that cuts the poo-poo.
Is that what? Oh, it does. Is that how it's starting?
This is going down already.
It's starting way down there.
Literally.
Literally. All right, Duff, since you entered the chat, do you have a favorite one of these?
I think the Dune 2, the Dune one was amazing, right? I thought it was really, really smart. It got people in there. And I think there was like this thing that happened where you visualize, like, do I have to go like into the mouth of the Shai Hulud and brave the Chris knife mouth to get my popcorn? Is it going to rip my hand? Like, there was something sort of viscerally interesting about imagining what it was like that made you want to go get it. Right? It wasn't just sort of like, it's a Ghostbusters car, or it's a, a Chanel bag or whatever. Like, it was actually like this thing that you had to kind of think about. I thought it was genius.
Yeah, that's a really emotional moment, as opposed to when you think about popcorn, you're normally like mindlessly shoving it in your mouth. And you're like, will I die? Will this take my hand? AYEHSA, did you have a favorite one that you saw?
I have to tell you, first of all, I love the whole idea because I'm dating myself, but it brings me back to the 80s when you wanted to collect those McDonald's cups.
Yes.
And all those like 80s, paraphernalia. Mine has to be the Devil Wears Prada. I mean, who doesn't want to eat popcorn out of a designer bag? I don't want to eat it out of my own designer bag, but so down with the container that looks like a designer bag while I'm watching, what's her name? I was going to say Glenn Close, but it's not her.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, rip Anne Hathaway a new one. So for me, I'm all about the popcorn shoved in the designer bag.
Tone, you like that one too, right?
That's mine. That's mine. And yeah, so the fact that Duff was like, who wants to eat popcorn out of a Chanel bag?
I mean, it's much better than a sphincter, I have to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't want to eat my popcorn out of a sphincter. I want to eat my popcorn out of a Chanel bag. There's something that's happening with like high-end bags that has that connection, right? Like Balenciaga did like a Lay's potato chip bag style purse. You know, there's like the caviar bags that have like, you know, like things that we love. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, you know, I'm a chef and I like to buy a designer bag every year that I'm like the two now have met.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Oh my gosh, I can see Antonia with a whole line now of popcorn container bags.
Although I am a liar when it comes to the popcorn size, because usually that it is like the biggest one, right? It holds the most amount of popcorn. So I always go in there, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to eat that. Don't get it. Let's just get the small one, right? And then 5 minutes into the movie, I'm like, go get the designer.
I mean, I am the queen of the rip and dip and the sharing, but I will tell you one thing I never share is my bucket of popcorn. I'm like, get your own. I don't want your hands in my thing. I want to eat it my own way. Okay. Like, I'm like in the middle of the movie, seeing someone's forearm go across my lap. I'm not into it. So I want my private bucket as big as can be.
Did not see that coming whatsoever, AYEHSA, and I'm so glad I know that because we're doing a movie date next time I see you, and I will buy my own popcorn. All right, what I think is missing from these battles, and you are the perfect people to talk to about this, is customized flavors. So, my friend chefs, how would you salt, season, top your movie popcorn? Let's start with AYEHSA.
I know this is going to be surprising to you, but I'm really a purist here. I like to make stovetop popcorn with olive oil and salt. But if I had to really like go a little nutso, I would just put black pepper in it. But if I'm buying like a bag of popcorn, the cheese popcorn always catches my eye. So I'm not going to lie about that. But as far as like, I mean, I put za'atar on it and other spices. I just feel like, to me, popcorn is like one of those flavors that's just so reminiscent of being like clean with just simple things that I feel like when you blast it with all of these other things, it just doesn't become popcorn. It becomes another like snack.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point. Antonia, what would you do?
Yeah. I mean, you know, just bringing, because we were talking about the movie theater, like I want those packets of like iodized salt and whatever that oil is that comes out of the container to season my popcorn. To me, I think that is the most phenomenal combination of flavors, like dangerous salt and whatever that oil product is.
I think
want
it's called
that.
flavor
Oil
salt
product.
or something like that.
Whatever it is, I think.
Do you remember?
It's not butter.
No, it's butter it.
It's like real butter.
It's called butter it.
Of course he knows, yeah. He's like, and I have one right here.
Exactly what
I was a breakfast cook in high school. I worked at this little tiny diner, and it had like, I don't know, 15 seats. The guy who owned it was also the manager of a Denny's off Cape, and our walk-in was full of like Denny's hash browns and Denny's sausage and all this Denny's crap because he was stealing it all from Denny's and you know, running it in his restaurant. It was amazing. And that was one of the things was butter it, and it's literally just solid blocks of movie popcorn grease, and it was amazing and it's delicious. And you put it on anything, and you're going to want to totally house it. They were boxed and frozen. Yeah, he was like filling up his car, driving it down to the Cape. I was in high school. I was like, whatever, man. I don't care.
I'm sure it tasted great. Duff,
one time a mouse crawled into our dishwasher and bit a wire and exploded inside of it. It was amazing.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
It was like
a video game.
Well, actually, I want to ask Duff, you're coming to us live from your workshop right now. So if you could design any of these fancy popcorn buckets, what would you do? And then also, what would the flavor of the popcorn be in it?
If I could pick any movie to design a bucket for,
Back to the Future.
Ooh,
I think it might be I think it might be Waiting for Guffman.
Oh, I love that.
I would do. And
Very
I would probably
heady.
do like a bucket that looked like a little stool, like the little velour stool from Blaine, Missouri, and like you'd have to go like a little because it was like all about stools. Everyone, we have stools, right?
How would you?
Am I the only one that
Yeah.
you guys have seen this movie, right?
Yes. Love
Okay.
this movie. Love
Yes.
this movie.
Okay,
That's
Aisha,
hilarious.
you got to go watch Waiting for God's
I gotta put it on there. Send me the link. I would do Mrs. Doubtfire's head and make the hair the popcorn because that to me is my all-time favorite movie. Like when she's like, hello! So it would be like Robin Williams' face with the cream and one lump of sugar on the bottom,
my
one lump or
gosh.
two, and then the popcorn would be Mrs. Doubtfire's hair.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
I think mine would be like one of my favorite movies, and I was allowed to see it like at way too young of an age, and it still like thrills me, but also like I won't go into the ocean because of it. Is Jaws. Like I could just like to have the mouth like open and like you're just always sticking your hand in the.
Yeah.
I'm making it for you so you can see it.
It's a great visual.
I think I was allowed to see that movie when I was like 5. My parents were like, "You want to see a great movie?" And I was like, "Sure."
And be terrified of the ocean for the rest of your life.
I like won't go in above my knees. I'm just like, no.
That's why they showed it to you. It actually was like to keep you from running away into the ocean and becoming a mermaid.
Oh no. My parents let me watch anything when I was a kid. That's another.
That's a different show. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, whose hot pop take popped the most corn this turn? I have to give it to you, Duffy.
That's a
If
tongue
AMC or Alamo Drafthouse isn't calling your agent right now, that's a crime. So here is a gold star just for you. You win this round, but don't be upset, ladies. Stickers for everybody. So Ayesha,
I don't want your loser sticker.
Ayesha, you're going to take the sticker and you're going to like it, okay? Ayesha, here's a severed horse head with cannoli flavored popcorn in it. And Antonia, here's a sticker of an umbrella filled with strangely soggy popcorn. Something to sing about. Get it? Singing in the rain? Get it?
That's hard.
No, sorry, guys.
I don't want soggy popcorn loser
Yeah.
sticker. I'm giving it to
The soggy popcorn was not a great choice for the Anyway, all right.
It's just making me more angry. It's just
Well,
making me
channel
more
that
angry.
anger because next up, our inside baseball round, Noma. The only restaurant goat that's still active has been tip of the tongue lately. They sold out their LA pop-up as fast as Nick Cage steals cars, but right as that pop-up popped up, so did a flurry of abuse allegations against founder and chef Rene Redzepi, reported by the New York Times. Protesters have demonstrated at their front door, and restaurant critics are weighing whether to cover the newest iteration of the institution or not, all leading to Redzepi announcing that he is stepping away from day-to-day operations. So panel, looking at your own experiences, coming up in kitchens, running kitchens, what do you think it is about kitchen life that seems to allow this pattern to recur? Antonia, let's start with you.
This is a very, very, very hard topic that actually has been really, sorry, I was like, I don't want to start. And now I'm like, I have so many feelings about it. But what what comes top of mind for me is that this has sparked for some reason, and I guess, we can all understand, a sort of protest against the industry as a whole. And the conversation is ongoing and like escalating to a scenario where our entire industry is wrong.
Yeah.
And that to me right now is breaking my heart on so many levels, because restaurants in general are still not recovered from COVID. Restaurants in general are still not recovered in some areas like Los Angeles from our wildfires. And I just think this very aggressive conversation about the industry as a whole is what has sparked from the Noma thing. And, I don't think our industry can take any more negative attack.
Yeah. What do you guys think, Ayesha or Duff?
I mean, I think it's a really hard thing. I like kind of posted liked some some videos on Instagram, and instantly was like flooded with DMs of like these keyboard warriors who were telling me what my thought process was when they have no idea about my story or like my proximity or not proximity to Renee and his team. I just like Antonia, it just feels like it's like a pair of thongs in a dryer. We just kept getting whipped around in this industry, and one person's behavior or a selected group of people's story. It's not my choice. It's not my opinion to say whether it's true or not in their experience, but it just seems like what Antonia is saying. It's like a snowball effect, and it just kind of like, at Chouquette, it's an open kitchen. And for the longest time, everybody would be like, is this like the bear? Is this like the bear? And now the question is, are you guys getting yelled at by your chef? Like, are you guys getting abused? And it's like, what is happening? Like, you're supposed to come to a restaurant to eat, to enjoy, to like submit to entertainment. And now you're like all of a sudden Kai Chung and you're a news broadcaster and trying to, advocate for happy line cooks in my restaurants. So I think it's a little wild.
Well, and I've met your line cooks and they're very happy. So good job, Ayesha.
I can only speak for myself. I came from abusive kitchens. I thrived in that environment, but I don't think that everybody does. And when I had my turn at bat, I definitely had some bad behavior that needed to be rectified. But I don't think it was abusive. I just think like when you're coming up in the industry, and I'm just talking about myself, not Renee and his situation, that kind of pressure and those type of growing pains are hard. And sometimes when you're at the top, you are alone. You don't know who to talk to about like what's going on. But then you come to a point in your career where you realize that you're not a surgeon, you're not saving lives, and that like, a bad dish can be rectified. Like this is not the end of the world. And when you start to like really talk to yourself about the truth of what you're doing and realize that you are part of someone's, the happiest part of their day, sometimes you just have to adjust those things. But the industry as a whole, like, it does go through these transformation periods, and I don't know that it ever gets better. The funding doesn't get better. The customers don't get better. The prices of things don't get better. And it's just a lot to deal with, but that no way, shape or form should, be an excuse for despicable behavior. Yeah.
I remember when I staged over in LA, that was right around the time that Bourdain's book had come out, Kitchen Confidential. And I think it was one of the first times that, there was a peek behind the curtain at some of the rougher practices that he experienced in the kitchen. And I remember being really scared about walking into a kitchen. I mean, I came up in newsroom, so I wasn't, obviously that's not the smoothest, happiest place all the time. So this is not a surprise, and it feels like a story that keeps coming back again, but I feel like it's being received differently. Like when Bourdain wrote that book, there was something almost like rock and roll romanticized about it, but now there's a completely different reaction to it. What do you make of it, Duff?
I was a bad kid, right? I went to jail. I was, like everybody's story, right? Parents get divorced. I'm feral. I'm totally running around. I'm going down the wrong path. I'm hanging out with all the, just all that stuff that we all have sort of fallen into, and we all know all those people that fall into. And I found cooking, and cooking gave me discipline, and it gave me guardrails, and it gave me something to be fascinated with and passionate about. And it was the only thing that I can think of that could have done that, because I was absolutely feral. And I think one of the joys of the food service industry is that it is open to absolutely everyone.
Yes.
Anybody can walk into a kitchen. And we are all broken people. We are all people that have trauma and scars and all those things. And when you walk into a kitchen, so does everybody else. And you are welcomed. I've always felt welcomed, even through all the stuff. Like I've been punched in the face. One time I was chopping, I had to make a shrimp mousse. It was my first fine dining job. The exec sous was like, go in the walk-in and get some shrimp, chop it up. We got to make the shrimp cake, whatever. And I grabbed U10s because I didn't know. I was like, oh, it's bigger shrimp. I won't have to chop as much. And he lost his mind and he punched me in the face. I got punched in the face. I got but like, we've all had the things, right? Physical abuse, the emotional abuse, all this stuff. And we're all constantly growing. I think that Renee is probably growing right now. I think he's probably going through something where he crossed the line. The thing that I worry about is that what happens when somebody like me who isn't able to sort of, be like, when you go to the animal shelter and you're picking out a cat and you're like, yeah, you can't, that
Right.
one's fair. You can't, that one
Right.
doesn't mix with other ones. What happens
But has potential.
has potential, but like what happened? I worry about the restaurant industry becoming so scrutinized and sanitized that those doors get closed to the people that this is kind of it, right? It's either this or jail. You know what I mean?
And it could save their
I'm not
life. Yeah,
excusing
100%.
anything that happened in that kitchen. But I'm also thankful, not for the actual punch or the actual mallet, but I'm thankful for the guardrails and the discipline that cooking gave me. And so it's really hard, I think, when you talk to chefs about this stuff. We've all experienced all of these things. It's not, none of this is unique to anybody. And they're all lessons. They're all things that have made us who we are.
Yeah, yeah. A good friend of mine always says, take the meat, spit out the bones, right? So let's take the good parts of a kitchen, the discipline, the camaraderie, let's work together as a team, all of that. Let's spit out all the stuff that is not useful, right? And then let's move forward. How do you think we now assess food going forward? Meaning before, especially when you had a closed kitchen and people weren't, writing about things, you just ate the food, right? And you assess the food for the food's merit. Now it sort of feels like, especially with some food critics being like, I'm not going there. I'm not covering it. We're now having to assess whatever backstory that there might be on the chef, the kitchen, their practices, all of that kind of stuff. Should that matter, or should we still just be assessing food on the merits of the food?
There's a saying in recovery, right? And obviously, like, I'm not personally in recovery, but I know a lot of people that are, and I sort of follow a lot of the structure of forgiveness and judgment and, the way that we move through our lives. And how I think because you can have this argument in every industry, right? Everyone is being scrutinized for their character, and then that's being sort of compared to what it is that they do, and should we buy and should we, support them, etc. If we were all judged every single day on the worst thing that we've done in our life and made to pay for it every single day, that's a world I don't want to live in. I think that there needs to be an understanding of people's garbage and their baggage that now is being aired for the entire world to see at any given time. And every person on this planet has wronged someone somewhere. Maybe there's different variants of levels or, levels to what they've done. But, no person in this world is perfect. People have had missteps in character and in certain, now, if they're continuing this kind of behavior and they're always, like, if they're continuing abuse all throughout their entire life, like, no, I don't even want to be around people like that. But I just think that there's this scenario where, people are just being judged in this present moment. And I'm not even talking about Noma anymore, but like based on things that they, have done throughout their entire life early on. And I just think that there has to be a separation. Like, we don't need to know everything about everyone at all times. Yeah. People feel entitled to know every little thing about you.
But nowadays with social media, it's like every one of us is on our 24-hour Truman Show, right? Everybody is on their own reality show, whether you have 20 followers or a million. And everybody sort of expects that stuff, right? It's part of it. And, unfortunately, like we are part of that system, by the way. I mean, as chefs on Food Network are part of the people that are making chefs into personalities and not just artists that make food. And, how do you separate the art from the artist? Right? Because we don't in a lot of ways. I mean, what's his name? Chris Brown. What's his name? The punched Rihanna.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
Right? Chris Brown still got records. Still making records.
Still
People
touring.
still go to his concerts,
touring.
right? Like
I know, selling out.
Michael Jackson.
Ted Nugent, right? Ted Nugent's a piece of shit, but Stranglehold's an awesome song. Like it's, and I think that you could, like, I could listen to Stranglehold. Nobody will know that I'm listening to Ted Nugent, but like people will know that you went to Noma. People will know that if I'm a food critic and I write about Noma, now all of a sudden the pitchforks are coming after me. Right? Or I'm a server. Yeah. I live in LA and I'm a gig worker and I'm working at Noma because, this is a great gig and I'm going to make a bunch of money. All of a sudden everyone's coming after me. Right? Cause I'm just pouring drinks at the plate. You know what I mean? And it just becomes this entire just pile on of stuff where everybody online is just so righteous and so pearl clutching. And
it's very interesting because it's a story that is like a restaurant story, but it obviously has wider repercussions and has a lot to say about where we are as people and as a society at the moment. And it feels very exactly the word that you said, Antonia, like there's a lack of forgiveness and there's a lack of grace and there's a lack of willingness to sort of put yourself, to hear other people out. You know what I mean? Like what would satisfy you at this point? Like what could Renee say at this point to satisfy you so different? We have to keep, nothing. We have to keep this moving. I'm so sorry to do this because I could talk to you guys, especially you guys.
You brought it up.
It's my fault. It's my bad. Listen, I put flowers on my sweater because maybe it would make it like a little sweeter, but I feel like it feels very weird to give out gold stars in this round for such a serious topic, but I will say I feel like Antonia went first, so I'm going to give her a gold star just for her courage to speak out. And but all of you, I mean, I really, really value everything that.
I don't want the gold star for this topic.
Listen, you complained in the first round when I didn't give you. Now you complain in this round, Antonia. Jeez, crow. So hard to please. Get Greg on the phone. Okay, do you guys want the other stickers? Okay, Duff, you get a hand-foraged starfish limb, severed and regrown 3 times, then fermented in a blend of Nordic pine, ume plum, and sugar kelp brine. I hope you enjoy that. And he'll be happy about it. And AYEHSA, here's a no cell phones at the table sticker, which is the around the table policy as well. Thank you very much.
Love it. And thank you.
Our final topic of the round, the wild card round, whiskey business. St. Patrick's Day got us thinking about the power of that fermented barley mash. What has been whiskey's greatest appearance in pop culture, from Westerns to James Bond to Chris Stapleton songs? It's been everywhere. So what panel is your favorite whiskey roll? What's the goat of Pete? Anybody got one on the tip of their tongue?
John Wick movies.
Oh, yes.
He will cacao an MFer and then grab a glass, a gorgeous crystal etched glass with his bloody hands, take the top off a decanter with his thumb as the whiskey's pouring down into the glass and take a sip and just look ravishing and on to the next kill.
I mean, he can do no wrong.
I sat in front of the bar for you guys for this specific
I love it.
episode, and I might have to pour a drink right now because they just make whiskey look so sexy.
So sexy.
And
Correct.
John Wick is it.
Whiskey's weird. I feel like the on-screen portrayal of whiskey and the actual experience of whiskey are 2 completely different things. When you see people drinking whiskey in movies, it looks delicious. I don't drink whiskey. It tastes like rubbing alcohol to me, but there is an incredible documentary called Whiskey. And there is this very jovial elder Scottish guy who every episode he's just going all over Scotland to all these different, and then he goes to Japan, and it's really cool. But in every episode he goes to all the different places, and you see just the craft and their tradition and the peat and you see all the everything about the sort of the whiskey industry and these tiny little distilleries, and it fills me. it fills me with such joy that there are these craftsmen out there that have, refined this process. And it's so just simple and beautiful and clean and wonderful. And you should watch it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I would love that.
I would say Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ron Swanson, I think, is the as far as whiskey goes. Yeah, Ron Swanson.
Antonia, do you have a favorite? You're not so much a whiskey drinker, right?
I want to change my answer. I like the scene where Dennis Hopper is about to get murdered by Christopher Walken in True Romance.
Oh.
And he's like, they're in the trailer, and he like drinks some whiskey, and then he has that whole speech.
I like when whiskey is used as an antiseptic, right? Like someone just got stabbed or shot, and then they're like, go, remove it.
Or they pour it on the wound, and then they drink it. Like,
yes, it's the coolest. It's the coolest.
Like suddenly you can
do that with
open
rum
heart surgery because you poured whiskey over the area.
Or like the trachea one, the one they always do, like when you can't breathe, and then they poke the pen in there. That was amazing, you guys. I am drunk on the humor and warmth of my company today. I don't even need a whiskey. I have you guys, but I hate to do it. Actually, I don't. Antonia LOFASO gets a gold star. AYEHSA, here's your consolation prize. It's a sticker of Mashley Moreau's, our newest kids merch mascot, and a sticker for you, Duff, of a whiskey whisk, every lonely baker's favorite new stir toy. Let's do a sticker recap at the moment. We've got Antonia in the first position. We've got Duff in the middle, and we've got AYEHSA bringing up the rear.
Bring it back to the beginning.
I like that sandwich.
Time to bring it home. It's the quickfire round. We call this one Best Bite Panel. Tap into your memory banks and taste elucidation ATMs. And tell me the most delicious bite of food you've had this week. Describe it and tell me why it was the best.
So I was here in my shop, and I was here all day. My wife was out. She went out. She got the baby, came home. And I walk in the house. I hadn't eaten a thing all day. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon. And I walk in, and there is a container of a big arch. And it was open. The sandwich was cut neatly in half. And I pick up the half of it, and I literally shoved half of that half into my mouth. I ate a quarter of a big arch in one bite. And
whoa.
Like it moved a little. It was so good. Oh man!
I mean, they couldn't pay you to write a better
instead of
endorsement.
having that CEO, the McDonald's CEO, like take a little bite. They should have filmed me.
They should have had you.
Like,
100%. 100%. What about you, ladies? Either of you have a best bite this week?
I think I have to give it up to my mom. She invited us over for St. Patrick's Day for dinner, and she made the most delicious corned beef St. Patrick's dinner. She actually made her own Irish soda bread, which had raisins in them.
Wow.
It wasn't chocolate covered. She had brown bread and rye bread.
I just
she
got that.
Made 4 corned beef that
It's a slow burn.
That she started in the Instapot. I think that's her new favorite toy. And then went 4 hours in the oven with whole carrots and potatoes. She had 3 kinds of mustard, 2 types of butter, and like quarter of cabbage heads just stewed in the liquid of the corned beef.
Best.
And we sat there, and usually my mother's side is the Italian side, and there's always the antipasti and all this stuff. And she did have a little thing, like some things out, but we literally just had that as a dinner. And like every bite was just glorious. And I think that, when I look back at it, like it's all the little details. It's like some bread was toasted, some was just hot, and some was room temperature. The butter was all room temperature, ready to be slathered on, and the grainy mustard with the Dijon mustard, and then she had some mustard from, I think it was Amsterdam that someone had given to her. It was just like a beautiful feast, and it's been a long time since I sat at the dining room table with my family.
Oh,
and,
I love that.
It was nostalgic but delicious, and all the details of the
I mean, I could taste every bite, AYEHSA. That was so good.
Oh, just give her the
What do you got?
gold star.
you are.
I'm gonna have to come up from the rear.
So competitive. It's amazing.
So competitive.
want those loser stars that she tried to give me in the first round. Ayesha actually knows the story because it happened in real time for her. Is you know, and listen, as chefs, like kind of like what Ayesha just said, like we don't get cooked for that often because in our minds we're like, I'll just do it. Let me just get it done. I'm going to get it done faster, and I can like organize it faster. And Greg made me some scrambled eggs the other day for breakfast. And mind you, I kind of taught him, he's actually an incredible cook, like a great cook. And he makes this joke because I'm like, okay, you want to melt some butter gently in a pan and then actually pour that warm butter into the scrambled egg mixture and then add more butter. And like I like my eggs almost like 50% butter, 50% egg. And he like loves to tell us, he's like, Wolfgang Puck showed me how to make these eggs. I was like, sure, vis-a me, or however that saying goes. And he like made me those eggs. However, brought in, he's actually was born in New Hampshire, and his whole family has like this love of obviously like lobster, etc. And we had some leftover lobster and butter, and he like whipped in some like leftover lobster and its butter into the egg. And I had never had, I mean, I've seen like crab omelets and things like that, but to me, like I just never, and it was number one, I was cooked for, and B, I was cooked for and so surprised by my love all of a sudden for seafood and eggs in the morning, which I have always kind of poo-pooed, being like, I don't want a crab cake I don't want a crab cake Benedict, you know? And I don't know why, I've just never even tried it. I just have always been like, mentally, I'm not... it was really good. Amazing. And he cooked it for me, and that was like the other part.
All right, listen, that was amazing. Thank you guys. I feel full, honestly. It's made it so real. And honestly, Ayesha, you absolutely won that round. I mean, you had me at 3 different kinds of mustard, so I love your mother. It's time to find out who really won today, whose sound bites were the best. And it is Antonia with gold stars. You are today's winner. Congratulations. You have now got 30 seconds to fill our eyes and ears with whatever you have to feed us. Talk to us about something that's going on, something you're really excited about, any of that. Go.
I am like uber grateful this week that I've been in my home, my new home in Las Vegas, and I've been able to spend time with like my mother, my family here, and like actually enjoy my home and like cook for people. And I know that's it, you know, we're on the road and we're in our restaurants and we're like doing all this crazy stuff. And the fact that I've been able to like be home for 7 days in my home and like cook and be with my family has been like the greatest. It's just been a beautiful, amazing week. So
that's amazing.
And thank you. And I would like to say that I'm wearing an Aarti Sequeira original. Okay. Sure. Okay. Hello. Didn't send me. I purchased on my own. Okay.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out today and playing this game. It's an honor to spend time with you all and exchange witticisms with you. Thank you all for joining us. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, real, virtual, imaginary, tell them all about our show. I'm Aarti Sequeira, and we'll see you next time on Around the Table. Bye, you guys.